Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 4, Episode 17, The Reunion Part 1. It's here, the reunion. All right, this is a three-parter. I always talk about how Part 1... they usually try and give you a little something to get you interested. Part 3 is where they save all the juicier stuff. Part 2 seems to be some kind of a filler that won't have much content. Well, I don't know if that's what's going to happen this time, but Part 1 read like a Part 3. The hour flew by. The tension could be cut with a knife. Yeah. All right, let's get into it. We start off, it is 7 a.m. in New York City. The ladies are getting out of their cars in front of the studio and heading in one by one, which is a little bit different than getting like the behind the scenes in the green room stuff as they're getting ready. But I don't know if it was better or worse. I don't know. I do remember thinking it's interesting to see who's nice to the people, like holding the door and greeting them and stuff like that. Some seemed nicer than, they all seemed pretty nice. I also think it's interesting that Bravo will pay to bring in all the cast of Salt Lake City rather than just pay to have Andy go there. Did they always do that? I know he goes to California. At least I think he goes to California when we do reunions for Orange County and Beverly Hills. So maybe it was a scheduling thing. I don't know. Anyway, as each of the ladies gets out of the car, we're getting a background scene of like a highlight reel for each of them, which is basically just every moment that they were screaming. It seems to be. All right, then we see the set for the first time, and it is a combo platter of Salt Lake City and Bermuda. We've got snow-covered palm trees and icicles coming down on that Swizzle-In bar in Bermuda. The ocean has icebergs in it. They're sitting in rattan furniture, but there's like furry pillows. So it's not my most favorite, but it's interesting. And then first glance at the dresses, yuck. Just yuck. It's not cohesive even in terms of there being some sort of a theme. Whitney, who's like arguably one of the most beautiful of the ladies, is in the ugliest dress, somehow made worse by the fact that it's short. It looks terrible. It looks cheap. And that is inexcusable. When a dress looks cheap, but I know it cost a lot, that's inexcusable to me. Look, if you can't do better than grabbing a dress at the mall, that's fine. I get it. But I know Whitney paid a lot for her dress. I know that. So the color, the design, it's unflattering. I don't get it. Lisa's dress, again, not doing her body any favors. And she's a tiny thing. Heather looks pretty. I will say I really like Heather's hair for this reunion. She's wearing it down and it's very soft. I think the housewives tend to do the, what do they call that? Like a cheap facelift thing where they wear their hair and the tightest ponytail. So it just like draws everything back. That's usually the go-to. And I think Whitney's doing it, but is Angie also doing it? I don't remember. Anyway, in contrast to that, I think the soft waves for Heather, I think it's pretty. In the elevator to the studio, it's Whitney, Heather, and Lisa, and they do a little prayer circle. Meredith ends up being the first one to the stage after Andy, and Monica is the last. She looks gorgeous, by the way, though. When I said Whitney was like the most beautiful, it's probably Monica, right? This is the first time they're all together as a group since Bermuda. I think it's also the first time that Monica is seeing or speaking to any of them since Bermuda. Andy starts off by asking everyone how it was filming without Jen Shah. Everyone's fine with it. Heather was worried that people wouldn't want to watch the show without the level of drama and toxicity that Jen Shah brings. But yeah, she didn't know we would get Monica. All right, we start with Monica. Andy said, it was a touching scene with your mom before the Palm Springs trip when you told her how you went and bought the designer purse because you didn't feel good enough and you wanted to fit in. Andy said, I think all of us have kind of been there. And I think it resonated with a lot of viewers. And Monica's like, yeah, I mean, look at how flawless these ladies are. And they have perfect lives and perfect kids and perfect homes. And here I am, just a whore with 4 kids living in a 3,000 square foot home. Oh, house is bigger than this whore's house. So now we talk about Lisa's ring. And Andy said, you know, that's why it's hard to understand. Like, I would think if you lost a $60,000 ring, you'd be upset. And Monica goes, I would. Yeah. And Lisa has the right to be upset. For me, it was just that it was constantly, it's $60,000. It's $60,000. It was $60,000. Lisa, I only mentioned it 3 times. Just 3. And then she tells us, Henry almost died when I gave birth to him. And John gave me that ring. And that ring, it reminds me that we have our 2 boys. And Monica goes, well, I didn't know that. That would have been different. Lisa, I don't tell people that. That's personal. Okay, fine. Then why didn't you just stick with it has sentimental value to me? Don't mention the price, like ever. Let alone more than once, because then we're going to think it's about the price. And also, okay, you can't, I don't know how much $60,000 means to Lisa Barlow. Would it be like if I lost $100 ring or something like that? I don't know how to work that equivalent, but yeah, I can understand. If I lost a $100 ring, I would feel really bad about it. But I could replace it fairly easily. And then I'm not even talking about if the ring was insured or wasn't insured or whatever, because I do believe that she was upset about the sentimental value in terms of replacing it with insurance. I think that's what struck everybody. Why do you keep telling people how much it was? It was almost the first thing she said to Trixie Mattel. Oh yeah, I lost my ring. It was $60,000. It felt awkward, kind of like, wow, sorry. But it was weird to throw the price of the ring out. I think that's what bothered everybody, not just Monica. Anyway, I think Lisa said something about complaining that, that Monica's calling her the 1%. It's not because I'm the 1%. I'm not. And Monica goes, well, yeah, that's right. You're not the 1%. That would be like Shaquille O'Neal. And Andy and Heather both look at each other and start laughing. Not that Shaquille O'Neal is not a 1%er, but like Heather goes, I mean, that wouldn't have been my first financial guru. Maybe I would have said, you're not Jeff Bezos or something. But Shaquille O'Neal. So anyway, Lisa never did find the ring. And Andy said to Monica, I think the rumor started that you stole it. And Monica goes, the rumor started over there, the other couch, with Heather, Lisa. Oh, I didn't mention that. Okay, so the seating from left to right, it's Whitney, Meredith, Monica, and then Andy, and then Heather, Lisa, Angie. So Monica's saying, I think the rumor started over there, meaning the couch with Heather, Lisa, and Angie on it. Lisa denies that, of course. Heather's like, who do you think started that rumor? Monica, I thought Lisa and Heather. Why didn't you go online and say, I don't believe Monica stole Lisa's ring? And Heather goes, maybe that's not what I thought. Yeah. But I never said that out loud, she says. Then Monica goes, yeah, it's stereotypical to accuse me because I have less than you. Go ahead, laugh it up, Angie. Now, Angie's reaching behind her pillow and she's taking her purse out. And I'm thinking she's about to pull out some receipts. But no, she was just going to blow her nose, I think. I think she was just grabbing a tissue. I don't know. Anyway, she goes, she didn't say you stole it. Monica, why are you even talking, you bench-warming bitch? I'm sorry, Monica gets me every time with her insults. She puts effort into them. I'm going to miss them. I am going to miss those insults because I can't imagine anybody will ever film with Monica again, right? I mean, she can't be back another year. I think she's just like a supernova. She just came in, burned bright and fast. So Monica goes, this doesn't involve you like much of the season. Excuse me? I think her husband, Sean, and the streets of Salt Lake City would beg to differ. You think much of this season wasn't involving Angie? Come on. So Andy says to her, what was your relationship with Jen Shah? And Monica says, we were friends, and then I started to work for her. She needed help with her life, basically. But I was more like a friend, honestly. Andy asks, what would you do? And she goes, I would grocery shop for her. I'd make sure she got to her appointments on time. Andy, was she filming the show at this point? And Monica goes, I think you guys were filming season 1. Andy, was she paying you? No. So Andy goes, so you were taking time away from your kids to go to a job that wasn't paying you anything? Monica, yeah. Everyone's like, why? Monica, she was my friend. She needed help. We were friends first. And I was like, I can help you until you need somebody. Well, it sounds like she needed somebody. That's why you were helping her. Also, I seem to remember that Stewart was assistant number 1. You remember co-defendant Stewart? Stu Chains? He was assistant number 1, and that there were maybe 2 or 3 other assistants. She may have had 4. So was Monica one of them? I'm confused. But it doesn't sound like Jen had a shortage of assistants or had any problem hiring someone to help her. So why did she need you, her friend, to help her out, get her to appointments on time, grocery shop, when she had all these other people helping her? That I don't understand. And it's not like Monica said, well, she was supposed to. We negotiated a price and she never paid me. No, she made it sound like she was just doing it because they were friends. So, wow, that's even stranger that she left her kids to help Monica. Like, if Monica was some poor lady who couldn't help herself, then I kind of understand out of the goodness of your heart just wanting to help someone. But that's not the case here. It doesn't add up. Monica's description of this doesn't make sense to me. So I don't believe it. So Heather goes, so you didn't Kim K started out as an assistant. And look where it got her. So, let's see where this gets me. You weren't doing that? Monica, no. Heather, I would like you to hear something, Monica. Yeah, Heather plays an audio of Monica saying to someone, probably Heather's ex-hair person. We can now hear Monica say, Kim Kardashian started out as somebody's f***ing assistant, and look at that bitch now. Yeah. Well, Linda is no Kris Jenner, though. So there's a little bit of a difference. I think Kim had a little bit of an advantage with a mom like that. Anyway, it goes on. I can fully admit that I was an assistant as a stepping stone. This is where I say, Monica, why lie? When your life is on camera, stuff like this, it's going to come out. Why lie? Anyway, Andy turns to Monica and said, so were you being an assistant to get on the show? Monica doesn't deny this. All she says is, I never thought I would get on the show. But why wouldn't I try? Okay. Then what was the garbage you were spewing earlier about, no, I just wanted to help her until she could find somebody else? So Heather goes, well, it just proves that you weren't her friend, or at least that you had an agenda. Monica says that she knew Jen before the show and that she applied to be on the show just like everybody else here. And everybody else there is like, what? I didn't apply. Angie goes, I was approached by someone and nobody else. And she goes, okay, well, maybe you guys didn't, but everybody who wants to be on the show now goes through the same process. So she emailed casting and I said, I'm Monica Fowler, which is not Monica Garcia, which is the name we thought when she started the season. So she said, I'm Monica Fowler. And I said, your show sucks and your ratings are shit and it's going to get canceled because you don't have the right cast. And Andy's like, did the ratings suck? And Monica goes, well, that's what I said. I'm being honest about what I said. Then we see the actual email to the casting director. It's a little different. She says, reaching out in regards to your casting call, exclamation point. Would love more information on what needs to be done or how to move forward. You guys need a feisty, excommunicated Latina on the show immediately, 2 exclamation points. I'm your girl, exclamation point. Monica F. Okay, well, potato, potato. Anyway, we move on to Monica's friend in the Secret Service, giving her like a warning ahead of time to get away from Jen Shah because she's going to prison. And then Monica tells us that she reached out to the feds to tell them that she had information about their case. And Monica said, yeah, I reached out to them and I think I did the right thing. And I think others here should have also done the right thing. Andy shifts gears by saying, we have a lot of viewer questions about how the relationship with your brother-in-law got started. And Monica goes, well, first of all, it all happened over a decade ago. Okay, and so now I'm like, wait a minute. She had like 3 kids with her husband after the affair started or during the affair or after the affair ended? Because her little girls are younger than 10, I think. At least 2 of them are. I'm confused. Did he know? Did her husband know about the affair, but he still stayed with her and had children with her? Or did it happen over a decade ago, but it didn't come out until recently? She never answers that, and she never answers the initial question of how did the affair start? Monica just says, yeah, and as far as everybody here, like especially Heather, I had very deep conversations with Heather about it and how painful that was for me. Yeah, and Monica got excommunicated from the church and rebaptized into the Mormon church, and that is not easy. That is a big deal, Heather said. You have to take the missionary discussions all over again. You have to get special permissions. Andy just asks her, are you still in touch with the brother-in-law? And she said no. Okay, so next we get into issues between Meredith and Whitney. We see some flashbacks. Meredith and Whitney getting into it over the bathtub thing. Also getting into it over Meredith having the friend with the sick child. Then the fight between Lisa and Whitney and how Whitney didn't think that Lisa was being attentive to her when her best friend died. We go back over Whitney helping Lisa to become a better person. We see Lisa and Meredith trying to have a fresh start with each other. Heather and Whitney trying to have a fresh start with each other. And Andy asks Meredith and Lisa, where do you 2 stand now? Where does your friendship stand now? Meredith just says, well, we had a few bumps in the road, but we have gotten to a much better place. And Lisa agrees, yeah. Andy says, Heather and Whitney, where are you 2 today? And Heather's like, oh, I mean, it was easy to get back to true love, but we're still working on stuff. Whitney, yeah, there's still trust issues. Meredith takes no responsibility for deflecting. She just feels like she respects other people's feelings, but that is not reciprocated. Whitney and Lisa are trying to get her to see both sides of it as they see both sides of it, but nope. No, Meredith will not take any kind of blame. Then Lisa and Whitney get into whether or not Lisa hugged Whitney and, gave her condolences or asked how she was doing after Whitney's friend died. Whitney claims that Lisa, wasn't there for her, ignored her, just gave like gifts to Heather in front of her and never said anything to her. We get a flashback. I didn't see a hug in the flashback. However, Lisa very nervously, I thought, kept saying, how are you? Are you okay? Whitney's like, no, I'm not really. Are you okay? You doing okay? Like, no, she just said she's not. But I'm going to refer back to when we first talked about this. Lisa was uncomfortable and didn't know how to approach her. some people are like that. When someone dies, they don't know what to say. And I don't think you can expect to get everything you need from everybody at a time like that. Some people are not good at it, and it doesn't mean they don't care. It's just, I think you're just going to have to either accept that in her, or, not be friends with her then. I don't know. But there was nothing malicious about it. Lisa is adamant about her actions were not intended to be dismissive or hurtful in any way. And I believe that. Then Lisa says, there are so many things that I sweep under the rug to make sure you're fine. And Whitney goes, same. Lisa goes, no. Then tell me what they are right now. Whitney can't really tell her. She ends up saying, I think I was just hurt that I saw you going around the room talking to everybody else. We move on to the Sean rumors. Viewer question. Angie, why so quick to forgive Monica when she was the one spreading the gay rumors? I still disagree. I still think Whitney was the one kind of pushing Monica to do the dirty work. But yes, Monica is the first person to say what the rumors were on camera. That's true. Angie, I felt sorry for Monica. We talked about her mom. I felt empathetic. And I just focused on it being Meredith that started this whole thing. Andy points out that Monica was the one that said what the rumor was on camera. Angie just says, in hindsight, I regret that I fell for what Monica was saying. I've learned my lesson. I thought she was a friend, and she never was. Now we work through Lisa and Angie's issues a little bit. When Lisa said Angie was a liar and that, she thought Angie was too wishy-washy, like trying to play both sides. And Lisa felt like I was taking Angie's side because I didn't know she and Monica even made up. Whitney stands by her comment that Lisa lacks self-awareness and makes every situation about her. That's a given. Lisa feels misunderstood. Whitney just doesn't like being ghosted after a conflict. They have an issue with each other. She tries to reach out to her, and she doesn't hear it back from her. Lisa says she does it because she's a bulldog and she knows how hard she'll come at her. And so she just needs a minute to cool her head. She's afraid she's going to come at Whitney too hard. Whitney just says, okay, then as a friend, can you just text back and say, I need space? I'll talk when I'm ready. And Lisa said, I could do that. Andy Cohen. Heather and Lisa, are you two bad leather? Oh, they think that's funny. Heather says, no, we're good leather. Back from the break, Andy says, the most scandalous marriage drama of the season was behind Angie's giant sunglasses. Was she hiding rumors and nastiness about her family? Okay, was that Andy's impersonation of Meredith?
Meredith, you never elaborated on the rumors and nastiness.
I feel a little bit like he's coming for my job. And I would just like to say, Andy, if you are, I guess that means I'll be hosting next year's reunion. Because I have a lot of questions that don't get answered. That's for sure. And then we see a whole bunch of clips about it, right? The whole marriage thing. And then when we come back, Andy asks Whitney, when did Justin stop wearing his wedding ring? Huh? What about the whole Angie and... It's annoying. I'm sure they're saving it for another part of the reunion, but it just felt like a weird segue. Anyway, Whitney, she's like, it wasn't about the ring. It was about the pressure I was feeling. And I actually felt bad because the wedding ring stopped fitting him. And I didn't know that until he showed me. It was just too tight and uncomfortable to wear. So after that, he started wearing it on a necklace. Ew, I don't like that. Also, why? Just have it resized, no? That feels extreme and also, I'm sorry, a little bit weird that a man is wearing his wedding ring on a necklace because it doesn't fit his finger. I That's another one of those stories that, like, I'm not buying it. If I were the host, I would absolutely ask, why didn't he just have it resized? Anyway, she says they're doing much better, so I'll be the judge of that. So now Andy says to Angie, it was sad seeing Sean get emotional when he heard about the rumors, thinking about how it would affect your daughter. And I remember feeling that way too, because he's like, it's not about because, I was, the rumors are about whether I was with a man or not. It's about me cheating on my marriage. And I don't want our daughter to think that I'm the kind of guy that would do that. So anyway, Andy asks, how's your family handling it? And Angie said, we're great. Of course, there was a bit there where, you're hearing about it on the internet all the time. You're hearing about it in your business because somebody drops that on national television. Monica looks skeptical. And Andy said, you never heard this before? And she goes, no. And I would like to be clear because at first people would wonder, because he's a hairdresser, if he was gay. It was always like, no, that's his wife over there. And then that was the end of it. Once we were established as a couple, it stopped. So to have this be brought up 30 years later by this rat who came out of the sewer, Monica starts laughing. Not because it's the first time someone's called her a rat, but because she thinks Angie should come up with something better than that. We are not all as quick on our feet as you are, Monica. You're the queen of the insults. Andy, Meredith, you never elaborated on what the rumors were. Were you bringing them up to Lisa and Whitney so that they would come out on television? No, I was reacting to Angie's behavior when I talked to Lisa. Angie, because based on what Monica repeated, Meredith was threatening rumors that were about my husband's sexuality. That's not right to do with families, with small children, with businesses. I am a pillar in the community in Salt Lake City. Monica laughs. And I have always had an incredible reputation. Meredith pulls out her receipts and starts reading them. At a minimum, you called me a fraud. I have multiple personality disorders. I am a lying bitch. You criticized my marriage. You criticized my business. Threatened to take a hit on my family. Called me a trampoline with eyes. Angie, that was a compliment. Andy's like, so was it? Meredith's not done yet. That I used my son as a pawn to take the heat off me for rumors that I did not spread. That you made me relevant. And you threatened me in the... cave. In the cave. Oh, only on Housewives. Angie, okay, I do think I activated you. You're welcome. I don't think you have multiple personality disorder. That was about you having multiple voices. And calling you a trampoline with eyes means that you have nice, tight skin. That's a compliment. Viewer question. Angie, you screamed, Meredith, you are the only one in the group who spread her legs outside of marriage. What did you mean by that? Angie, honestly, I was told that you and your husband were seeing other people. I'm sorry I said that. Meredith, like on a high horse right now that I don't think she should be on, she says, I think it's sad when women poke and prod other women for being honest about marriage difficulties at a later date when they're happy. And then, finally, thank you, Ira Madison 3. Viewer question. Whitney definitely used Monica to be the one to bring the rumor up on camera in her villain era. Yes. Yes. I have been saying that from the beginning. I know a lot of you guys are saying it too. How did Whitney get away with that? I mean, I remember her, this might have been like, I don't know, episode 2. I remember her even saying, I don't want to bring it up because I don't want to start anything with Meredith. Yeah, but you should, Monica. What I didn't know back then was that Monica was raring to go. She would very gladly bring it up on camera. But still. Okay, so Whitney, it's absolutely not true. It absolutely is. One, this is a very tricky situation because I never knew what the rumors were. Okay, that's another thing. At the time when she said, I don't know. Do you know what the rumor is? And Monica's like, yeah. And she goes, I don't know what it is. Monica goes, come on. Everybody's talking about it. So that was another moment where I didn't believe Whitney didn't know what the rumor was. She just wanted Monica to say it. But again, now here at the reunion, Whitney's saying, I didn't even know what the rumor was. And again, even if she didn't know what the rumor was, that doesn't matter. Because once Monica told you what it was, you were the one that encouraged Monica to go tell Angie. As her friend, we really should tell her. But by we, I mean you, Monica. Go tell her, like now on camera. And Monica did it. But here at the reunion, Monica interjects to say, I take responsibility for what comes out of my own mouth. I don't want Whitney to be blamed for what I did. And Whitney goes, thank you, Monica. I mean, you can both be responsible because you both are. I'm not saying Monica shouldn't be responsible for what comes out of her mouth. She absolutely should. But that doesn't mean don't blame Whitney. Because I blame both of you. Nobody said this has to be an either or situation. There's enough guilt to go around. Angie just said, Monica was determined to have this come out about me. Okay, but so was Whitney. Monica goes, no, I wasn't. Angie, she went around to everyone the first week of filming saying there were rumors about me. I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean, it's not like I don't believe it. So now as the credits are rolling, Angie and Monica are just hurling insults at each other, talking on top of each other. I can't make out a lot of what's being said. Angie does get some good ones in there. Something about a Range Rover under a carport and spending your kids' money on a purse. So yeah, that is it for part one. You guys, I have to mention that there's a teaser for part two. There always is, coming up in part two. But I usually don't mention it because in case you guys aren't watching the show, I always like to save things for, the week they happen. But I just have to tell you about a bombshell, I feel, a bombshell that was said. Andy says to Lisa, Jack Barlow was recently spotted in California. Did he not go to Colombia? Lisa. Oh, yeah. He bounced on his mission. He's not going. Yeah. Oh, my God. After an entire season talking about Jack's mission, after that big, elaborate party where we did the gender reveal of his mission, and the scene with buying the clothes for the mission, all of that, and he bounced on it. Oh, man. Someone didn't want to carry extra cash in his wallet for the weekly armed robbery, is my guess. And, it's so funny. I wondered, I know nothing about the Mormon religion, even though I cover this show and Sister Wives. Still, I know nothing about it. But do think I asked this before, but can someone refuse the location of their mission or ask for a different one for any reason at all? I'm just curious about that. If you guys know, let me know. Or was his only option to bounce on it? And also, what does that mean exactly? What does he have to do? Is he now going to be excommunicated from the church? I can't imagine they look very fondly on somebody who gets their mission and then doesn't go. I don't know. I hope they elaborate on it next week. They probably won't. That's probably all that's going to be said. It's going to be frustrating for me, but yeah, I would like to know all about it. Anyway, that is it from me. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you liked this recap, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. And if you click on the little bell icon in the corner, you will get a notification every time I post something new here on my channel. I'm an Amazon affiliate for those of you who are Amazon shoppers. If you go through one of my links before you do your shopping, while you are still logged in through my link, any purchases that you make, I will get a small credit for. Thank you so much. And that is it. Let me know what you thought of this episode, this recap. If you know anything about the Mormon religion and you know what happens with when you bounce on a mission, let me know in the comments. If you have comments about anything else, put them down below. I do read all your comments, even though I don't often have time to answer all of them. Just know I got eyes on them and I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I love you guys and I'll see you next week. Bye.